once again, and it's welcome to Loton Park in Shropshire for round 16, the penultimate round of the TVR 2004 Speed Championship. When we last spoke, we were at Tarewood Hill in Yorkshire, and things were really starting hot up in the championship points, and especially with the weather, which was very, very wet, and people like Tony Bradfield, who generally his performance and historically has been excellent on the hills, he really started to shake the points list up. We've got with us once again Steve Cox, who hopefully is going to bring us up to date with where we are after the Harefield round and what we're going to be looking out for today here at Loton. Steve, good morning to you.
Hey, morning Paul, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Well, what can I say about the points? The points is just so exciting now. What we really have is a couple of little battles as the season comes towards its end. You've got Jonathan Leeson and Adrian Duggleby, both of whom have got 156. John Leeson's got 156.95, Duggleby's got 156.40, both after 7 events. This is their 8th event, the best 8 count. I mean, this is really exciting today. Just a little bit further up, Tony Bradfield and Jez Firth. They've both done 7 events of their 8. They've got 166.91 and 166.47 respectively. It couldn't be any closer than this. After the end of the day, all of these people will have done 8. We'll have a much clearer feel for the end of the season.
Now clearly this looks like it's going to go all the way to the last round at Debden in a couple of weeks' time. I mean, things are really, really close, and if everybody continues on their same form today, I mean, things are going to be really, really close at the last round.
They are, and the thing is, of course, you've got wildcard Farrell. Now Andrew Farrell, he's only done 6 events, but his average is already 23.65. So if he does well today and at Debden, he's going to be in the top 3 as well. So I mean, it just couldn't be any closer than this. You couldn't call it.
Sunday morning. Well, this is a slightly different approach to hill climbing. Leave the car behind. At least you don't spin off the track.
Wise words, Nicky. First up, this is Mike Horn, first visit to Loton.
So does not threaten the hill land. So that pass was won by Graham Oxley. Now we've got number 32. This is Mike Horn in the time here on line 4. It is novice year, the tender age of 51. That's not bad.
51? It's just a ball.
69.
And as Mike Horn finishes off down on the start line, this is old adversary Hugh Davis. Both in their first year, these guys, first visit to Loton Park.
Don't mess about.
Up the hill, look out for the flipper on the right. Over the brow. As Hugh Davis finishes off his maiden voyage at Loton Park, down on the start line, Jez Firth is waiting to go. Now Jez has got the engines so fast. Pull around, boy. A little bit of curb.
A 1993 car.
Down to trying lots of speed.
Beautiful rover time. Overline 1670.05.
Very fast up the hill. Fast into fallow. Pull around. Hill climbing is all about consistency. But this is one consistency that Jez can do without. This is John Pollard, exits loggerheads in Hillary's 3000S. I don't know that she knows that he drives it like this. Careful, John boy. Now, John always sees more wildlife than anybody else. Look at this. Look to the right, pheasant. Just missed it. But if you look at the in-car footage, flying up the hill, and there he goes. Life was never in danger though, I don't think. We're still worried about it. We're flying up towards the top of the hill, over the brows, begin to break. Now, John, now. Go left. Stay off the grass. Oh my lord, it's all gone tits up. Over the brow of the hill. go right, but not too early. Is it not too early? Now this is the superb 3000S of Steve Dennis, British Racing Green, and it carries a lot of speed. This car nearly 200 brake horsepower. Steve Dennis and John Parr have a great championship battling out week on week. Yeah, it's great to watch. When we come up towards Fallow, this is Adrian Duncan's beautiful V8S. Robin Harris been showing interest in this car lately. Now that would be interesting. I think the most difficult thing that Adrian's trying to come to terms with is the dynamic of the weather today. It's pouring with rain, and before you know what's happening, halfway up the hill the sun's come out and it's absolutely beautiful again. As Adrian finishes off, you just see Marcus Play coming down into triangle, very, very fast, very tricky, just a little bit too slippery though. Just a little bit of off-roading there. Marcus very fast up the hill. Ooh, very, very quick into fallow. Pull around. Come on, Marcus. Excellent. Great corner. Great corner. Down the start line, this is Dave Didcock. He's away on this too. Nice, quick car. Dave drives well. Leaves his braking a bit late though. Out of loggerheads, down towards triangle. Just look at the speed Dave carries through here. That's quick. He's up the hill. That's quick. That's a 2.9 Cologne engine S2. This is Jonathan Leeson, very fast in the triangle, well, too fast as it turns out. Supposed to go the other side, John. Up the hill, cuts it to the right, just right. Start line, this is Matt Oakley, very, very fast car. Flying Doctor they call him, deservedly so. This Griffith started out as a 500 but is now putting out probably the best part of the 350 brake. That's quick, that is quick. Flip-flop purple shows up well. Through the S's, flick right, tight in left, up the hill. Great, this is go by. Fallow, carry a bit of speed. Well done, Matt.
You're going to put yourself on and go down.
This is Hilary Pollard, bringing her 3000S down through triangle. Yes, tidy turn. This is Hillary's second season, won Best Lady last year. This is up through the final piece of the course. This is called Museum. Tricky late apex, this is where Steve Lyon. This is Sarah Leeson and their shared Camaro 4.3. This is Sarah's first event here.
6544 doesn't find that. Jonathan Leeson, Southampton, this is pretty much standing car.
I go to go and congratulate my daddy.
And when you've done that, we'll go and have a look at the times.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
What the hell's that? Let's go and catch up with Paul now. He's down in the paddock and he's with Steve Lyle.
Well, there we are then, Steve.
I know. I'm tempting fate today. I don't know if you realise.
No, go on.
Well, I picked up my car from having the front end repainted yesterday afternoon, ready to come back here and hopefully not do it all over again.
So you'll be driving up like you're on a shopping run today then?
Absolutely, yes. It's going to be very gentle, very cautious.
The polish should be out lunchtime.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be about right, don't you?
So anyway, what's your game plan?
No, I mean seriously, I want to get a couple of good practice runs in, especially through that top corner. Get that under my belt and I feel a lot more comfortable for this afternoon.
Yeah. So how many more rounds you got to go?
This is my last one.
Yeah. So you think that today, is it going to move you up in the championship points, or you think that you're not really in with much of a chance?
I'm not in with much of a chance because I've missed out a whole section, sort of 3 months in the middle of the season. So.
But hey, it's the taking part that counts.
That's right. Yeah, and I'm here.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, isn't it?
Have a good day, and we'll catch up with you later.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See, Andrew's sitting there pensively just thinking about the number of points that he has. Let's just have a very quick look here. He has got 141.89. He'll probably pick up 22, 24. So he's going to be in the 180s by the time he's finished. So he and Jez, the guys with the Cerbras on a very tight and twisty hill climb, like Loton Park.
Big cars.
They are very big cars, and the lock ain't great, to be frank. So it's going to be a challenge for them.
You look as though you're going quite well on your first run this morning.
Yeah, first run was okay, but second run was a bit of hill climbing and rallycross. But
now, obviously, you've just got one more round to go, Debden, which you're going to be doing. This is make or break for you today here, really, isn't it?
yeah, if I don't gain enough points today, then Debden's a waste of time. But I should still do Debden.
Yeah.
Looking forward to today.
You're having good fun anyway.
Yeah.
John Leeson, Adrian Duggleby, you've come into this round virtually neck and neck with just a gnat's winkle between you. So, this morning has been quite exciting because you've had some dry runs, some wet ones. So, Adrian, how did you get on this morning?
This morning, not spectacularly. I had my first ever clean run up Loton. Normally I'm off at one corner or another, so this is my first clean run, but it was actually probably the slowest I've ever been. So my second run was going to be a quick one, but then fortunately the rain started coming down, so it's all to play for this afternoon. I'm going to actually put my foot down.
John?
Very similar to Adrian. Tried to obviously second time I've been here, so I tried to do better on the first one, and it went reasonably well. But I see, I'm trying to get some tips from Matt hopefully because he's going quite well.
So did you actually realise you're both so close?
I do,
It's had crossed my mind. Yeah.
So he told me last week.
So is there any sort of cunning plan set for this afternoon then between you two?
Yeah, it's got to be dry.
Well, I was hoping to be wet.
You haven't come to some sort of arrangement between you? There's no money taking place? Or
I hadn't thought of it. No.
That's a good idea.
There you are.
No, I thought I'd just wait until Debden again next time. Same as last year.
So you both doing?
No, I'm going to miss it. So this is my final run.
So you've got to really go for it.
I have.
This afternoon. If
I have.
If you're going to pull ahead.
Yes, I need to make up quite a lot of time. So
no pressure though, John.
No pressure, no. Sarah will help me out. She'll give me some more tips.
Well, I wish you both the best of luck this afternoon and catch up with you later.
All right, thank you. Yeah,
Well
best man win.
Stuart Lobley. Sponsored by McDonald's.
A whole mouthful. Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Have you recovered from the curry last night?
Of course I have.
That's good.
I didn't feel that way this morning.
Did it make any difference to your driving skills this morning?
It certainly slowed me down the first run. No, fine. Everything's fine.
Good. And you're having a good day?
Yes. As long as this sun keeps shining and see if we can get a bit closer to some of these V8s.
Allard, you've got a lovely TVR Vixen. Do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, I bought it about 4 years ago. I rescued it from a chap that left it at the side of the road. It was pretty smashed up, and restored it for the road, but hated every minute of driving of it. Had a present of a trip at Prescott that got me interested in hill climbing, and when I came home I thought, that's the car, I'll do that, and see whether that added some more interest to the pack, not realising that we're actually a number of Vixens in the Speed Championship.
So how many events have you done this year?
12. Yeah, first season, bit enthusiastic and applied for everything.
Well, when Steve Cox and I were talking this morning, I was saying to Steve, who do you think's going to be the wild card of the day? And it looks like you are, because you've been posting some extremely good times, and with the algorithms applied to the times this morning, and I know it was only practice and they don't really count, looks like you're going to be putting quite a few people under pressure.
Yeah, I think so. Certainly Stuart and I are going to be pushing up, because the power differential doesn't make so much difference here.
Yeah.
It's all about thrift and grip, really.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll prove something.
Good. Well, it's good to see someone shaking the barrel up anyway. So
Yeah.
Good luck this afternoon.
Rightio, thanks a lot.
Right, Sarah, your first time up this formidable hill this morning.
It is.
How was it for you?
Very slow the first time, but at least I stayed on, and a bit faster the second time.
You were in the first batch up, weren't you? So it was quite slippy first thing.
It was. And not having done the run before, just having walked it this morning, hadn't no one else would do it this morning to give me any hints.
So was it better or was it worse than you expected?
Actually, better, I think.
Yeah.
So,
It's all over very quickly. It looks a long way when you walk it, doesn't it?
It
But
does.
then suddenly you get to the top and you think, my God, I'm there, and it's all over. And it does come up very quickly, that left-hand bend. It didn't catch you out. It catches many out.
I was probably going quite slow, so I saw it coming. So, but yeah,
But your second run was in the dry and it was a bit better.
it was, yeah. So I felt a bit more confident on that one.
Yeah. So this afternoon then, you're going to be having a bit more fun, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, staying on the track and getting a few seconds off.
Okay, we'll catch up with you later.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Very interesting.
Steve, can we interrupt you for a moment?
Hi.
Obviously sitting there working out the algorithms from this morning's practice runs, looking quite interesting. Andrew Farrell going extremely well, went off on his second time run, but his first time run was a blistering run, considering it's his first time up the hill in the Cerbera. We've just been speaking to John Leeson and Adrian Duggleby, and they're being very, very gentleman about the whole thing, shaking hands. That's good to see. But how's it panning out in your view?
Well, basically Adrian Duggleby and John Leeson hate each other. So let's be quite clear about that. And even though they're talking to each other during the course of the championship, actually they cheerfully rip each other's throats out. Absolutely. And that's how much they care about this. If you're just looking at the points after practice, there are no points after practice, but just indicatively, if everybody drove at the same speed as they've been doing this morning, this afternoon, then we have a clear winner in Tony Bradfield with 25.31. That's wicked.
But that comes as no real surprise given his performance on the hills.
No, it doesn't. And the thing is, and if he stays in the 66s, then that means that Andrew Farrell would have to beat him by like 6 seconds in order to get an equal number of points. Well, you know how hard it is on the hills, and to a 6 second difference on a hill this long, it's very, very hard to do. So I can't see that. Interestingly, we were talking about wild cards this morning. Jeff Stallard in the Red Vixen, 25 points. So if he goes up there sub 70, 25 very useful points for him. So that would be good.
Yeah, we just actually watched Jeff on the hill, and he's very quick into the triangle. You know, the first part of the course, he's very, very quick. He's about...
he's sub 27 going round there.
Absolutely, he's about a second up on everybody else, which is pretty good.
It is. No, it's still very exciting. It's still all to play for today. Tony Bradfield, 25.31. Jez, we still haven't seen anything out of Jez yet. Effectively, Jez has got to get to the end.
We've just given Jez a little bit of instructional encouragement, actually told him that he does have to drive on the grey bits.
Yeah. Basically, Jez ought to be doing rallying. He's a great sprinter when it's on the tarmac.
But he has been doing rallying.
Oh, yes, so he has.
But not intentionally.
Well, and you as well, Paul.
Thank you. And Steve, what about you?
Oh, it's rubbish. The hills like this don't work for me. So in a car like mine, 21.85. So and this is why when you get to the averages, the hills don't work for the platform.
Because you came into Davy's event leading the championship. Maybe I was wrong. Leaving the championship was the right thing to say. Yeah.
No, you're right. And the thing is, I already knew that with the averages that people have already got out there, that I won't win the championship. I'm going to be in the top 5, but it's all in the averages at the end of the day, and the kind of averages that people have chucked in today are going to be good.
So it's looking more and more like it is going to go all the way to Debden.
No question at all. And Andrew Farrell. Back on the hill now. This is Stuart Lobley's S4 Vixen. Very quick through triangle. Watch him come out through the S's. He knows these lines. That is absolutely perfect.
Flops a little bit as the bar goes on out of museum.
Fast entrance into fallow. A little late braking. Carries good speed through the bend. Up the slope through museum. Carries it over the hill towards the end. Good run. Now this is Steve Lyle. He had a very bad accident in museum earlier this year in his V8S. This is a quick car. Look at that. Look at that. Doesn't slow him down at all. Extremely well. 240 brake this car. Hot cam. Again, fast into fallow. Fast speed through there. Marcus Clay.
Very quickly into fallow, gets the braking just right.
Yeah, nice drift round there. Through the S's.
Again.
Yeah, not bad.
Getting the power down.
Got the hill fast into fallow. No, Marcus. No, you turn left there. And this is Coxey. This car has been for 6 years, 5 years in Riff engine. Reverse camera angle. Coming into triangle. Little wagon through there. Great car. Andrew Farrell, speed 6 circle. This car really goes. Drives it like he hired it. Down in the triangle, reverse angle. Yeah, that's a quick car. Out through the S's. Tony Bradfield. This is probably my tip for the championship winner this year. 350i. Tony's a great driver, loves the hills, does all the track, carries masses of speed. How quick this is. Curve. Into the S's, cut that toe, cut it toe. And up the hill. I can't put the right on the right. Loton was a fantastic day's motorsport. Andrew Farrell took honours at the end of the day with a fantastic 63.17, which was pretty good going. Steve Lyle, undeterred by his off in May, actually came up there in 64.57. Tony Bradfield 66.73, but it's the algorithm that makes the difference, and it's that gives you the points to take home.
Tony Bradfield looks as though he could be swayed in quite a path in the championship, but the wild card could actually turn out to be Andrew Farrell, because he's only done 7 rounds and he's got 1 more round to go, which is his Debden round, and that's going to change things altogether.
Yeah, I mean, it's still very close at the top. I mean, where we are now, I mean, you're absolutely right. Tony Bradfield, I think, it's got to be unassailable now. He's got 189 points, 1 more event to go. Let's just have a look at the top few. So Tony's got 189, Jess Firth 187, so still only 2 points in that. They're both going to be at Debden. That's not quite done yet. In 3rd position, me, funnily enough, God alone knows how. In 4th, the battle between John Leeson and Adrian Duggleby. It couldn't have got any closer. I think finally John Leeson is going to shade that, so maybe just edge Adrian out.
Well, because Adrian's done all his rounds now, hasn't he?
He has, and John's still got a spare. So whether or not he needs it, I don't know. Sarah needs the last round, to get her prize this year, so that'll be interesting. Alan Bankhurst consistent enough in 6th at the moment. John Pollard 7th, good consistent series from him. Steve Dennis, John Pollard and Steve Dennis both in 3000 S's. That's been a great series for them, and I've really enjoyed watching that wild card. I mean, you're absolutely right. Andrew Farrell in 9th place at the moment, but with one left, he needs something like 25 points from his last event to take it away from Tony Bradfield. I don't know if he's going to get that out of Debden. Incredibly hard, as you know, Paul. That long sweepy left-hand bend. Where the hell is that apex? I've never found it.
And because, with Tony and Andrew got two very, very different cars. Andrew's got a lot of power, probably quite well suited to Debden, where it's you can sort of squirt a lot of power down on the straights there.
No, you're right. I mean, it's going to be really close. I mean, I wouldn't like to call it now. I think to make up a full 25 points out of one event, the pressure's going to be on Andrew. Tony's just got to finish it really and not do anything silly, and I think he's home free.
And of course, as we said earlier, the thing that we can't count on is the weather. We're getting later on in the year now. It could do anything in a couple of weeks' time. We've seen it this weekend, and that is going to be a major contributing factor on the final round.
That's absolutely true. And the thing is as well, of course, these guys are running in different classes. And you know what it's like, you get one shower of rain and your class is completely ruined. So, it's all to play for at Debden. It's going to be fun.
OK, Steve. So, the penultimate round out the way now. Been an exciting round up to this weekend's events, and looks as though it's going to go right down to the wire for Debden. Join us then.